what we need to be thinking about in the next days is kind of settled for us. We know that it's about survival right now. We're maneuvering through this really unpredictable situation. So all eyes, all hands, all on deck for what's going on and managing this through the business. But I also feel very strongly that as things start to settle, and it will, I mean, this is temporary, it's going to settle, and it's probably not even that long. None of us know, which is kind of the difficulty of the whole situation. But as things begin to settle, this is the perfect opportunity to teach ourselves, our teams, our organization, some of the more complex skills that are really tough to teach. Resilience, for example, is the perfect example. How do you teach resilience? Well, you put someone in a really tough situation. I don't know of any situation that we've experienced that's probably tougher than this, right? And when we teach resilience, normally we have to create an artificial situation. There's nothing artificial about this. So this is the perfect time to start looking at what are some of these muscles that we need to build, because the next time around, and there will be a next time, there's going to be another crisis. Who knows what it'll be? We don't know if it'll be a pandemic or not, but there will be another crisis. Those muscles will be stronger.
Again, as leaders, continue to think about when we are through of all of this, how will our employees feel about our company and us as a leader? I think in the next coming days and weeks, I think it's staying consistent on what we're sort of referencing as the 4 C's, and keeping that throughout. So communication is the first, always rises to the top of the need of all employees. So continuous communication comes first. Second is continue to provide clarity. So the second C being clarity, and do that often. Clarity around job expectations, clarity around how the company is progressing, clarity around what you believe is next and what has been affirmed as being next. The third C we talk about is consistency. So whatever you've established in your daily cadence with your team, keep that consistent as much as you possibly can. Friday happy hours at 4 and Tuesday check-ins at 2 and, whatever it may be. But people rely on that consistency, especially during these times. And if you did something for the last 2 weeks and all of a sudden you don't do it the third week, they're going to wonder why. And even if you don't have a whole heck of a lot to share, still keep with whatever you've started, because it provides a sense of comfort. So consistency being the third. And then fourth is just good common sense. I think one of the things we learned early on through this is, some of the things that were being said or done with some of our supervisors and managers, you kind of question the level of common sense in some of it, but also I'd go back to defending them and saying, again, uncharted territory, they've never been through it. They're just trying to do that flight or fight, or and they're just doing what they think should be done out of their own concern. So continue to drill in on just using good common sense. And those 4 C's, I would just say, establish that and continue that over the next couple of days, weeks, and months to come.
I'm going to actually add a 5th C to Erin's, and I'm going to put culture as my 5th, only because we talked about that being something so strong at Crowley Webb. And I don't know if any Crowley Webbers are on the call, so I hope I don't spoil this, but we've actually started talking about how are we going to welcome everybody back. And what are we going to do when we are back in the office again, together again, because it's important that we return not only to what people knew, but also now what will be the new normal and the new standard. We're also thinking about, though, what impact is this going to have long term, not only on us as a company, but on our clients as well. And as we start looking out towards what we expect to be Q3, Q4, and then into 2021, when we get into our planning, things will likely be different. And so how are we going to react and respond to that, and what do we need to do to adapt? Erin mentioned also the importance of policies, and we've been spending a lot of time on our policies, and we try and keep them a little bit more lax. I think our industry allows us to do that. But one of the things that we were talking at length about before all of this was our employees' desire to have flexibility and work from home. And we weren't sure how it was going to work and if it would be a good idea or not. And here we are, all forced into it. And guess what? it works. And so I think, now we would probably go back and say, all right, that's an area where if our employees are looking for that, and if that's meaningful and important to them, then how do we offer up that flexibility, knowing full well that this works?